Oh my gosh. Let me put my glasses on. Hey guys, Omar here, and I want to show you the cleanest, most detailed Fujifilm file I have ever seen. Besides, of course, the GFX 100. So this picture right here is from our last video where okay, I'll stop showing the camera. And this was a street portrait I did with a 27mm 2.8 at f8. Now the reason that this image is underexposed is because I wanted to preserve the highlights in this awesome hair. She was walking down the street and I kind of just jumped in front of her. I was like, can I please take a photo of you? I love your hair. And her expression shows like how enthusiastic I was, how enamored I was by her beautiful hair and the light hitting it. Now, if I would have shot this at the right exposure, if you notice, her hair probably would have been blown out. You know, you blow out your hair. In photography terms, blown out means the highlights are usually non-recoverable. So we'd be back here trying to fix the mess we made. So if I were to edit this image, just a quick edit note here, I'd probably pick Provia as my, profile. I'm going to bring the highlights down. I'm going to bring the shadows up. We're sort of evening everything out here, keeping an eye on that hair to make sure that it's nice and detailed. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about the background because with here Lightroom, you can completely just choose the background. Oh my God, that's so dreamy. And we can sort of bring the highlights down from the background a little bit. But here we go. Let's pretend that this is the edit, just to get to the point here. If you notice, we had to bring some of the highlights back up, and she looks great, but this is kind of where you're maybe a little disappointed with what Lightroom did. Now, we should have a drinking game where everyone who comments about using Capture One, we all take a nice little swig. I like Capture One. I've used Capture One, but it doesn't really gel with how I like to work, my workflow and how the libraries work in Lightroom. I'm definitely a Lightroom. I've discovered that about myself. I'm a Lightroom user. True, if you put this image in Capture One, let's do that real quick. Okay, so there's a little bit more noise in the Lightroom image here, and then in the Capture One, it's cleaner. And what's great about Capture One, if we go to this little magnifying glass and we go to the sharpening, Capture One is great at getting these curls back. Like it sharpens the Fujifilm files a little better than Lightroom. If I come over here and I start using goodbye Capture One, goodbye. You've proved your point. And you can sort of sharpen a little bit. I'm not going to show you all the sliders, but the end result usually with Lightroom is that it makes a mess of the image. Okay, it's not clean, and you get all kinds of strange artifacts depending on how much detail you put and how much you define the edges. You can define the edges more, but it doesn't matter. You're always going to get kind of strange artifacts. Adobe needs to fix their sharpening tools in Lightroom to make them more powerful because now it's the era of AI. And this is not sponsored. I purchased the software all by my lonesome. There's no affiliate links. I'm not selling you anything, guys. I'm just kind of showing you what we're doing here. So this is the raw file. I'm going to right click and hit export. And I'm going to use something called DxO Pure Raw 3, okay? And if you use something called Deep Prime XD, it sort of removes the noise. It uses AI to sharpen. It fixes the lens. Hold on. Is currently busy. You may need to. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. We're going to process this image. Now, it will increase your raw file size by 3. So your file size is going to be 3 times larger, but the beautifulness of the image is like 100 times. So, it's correlation. This is the raw file. I made a copy of the raw file so you can see the curls, and we're going to go right to the DxO processed one. And here it is. Look at the curls. Look at the curls. Look at the contrast. Look at the sharpness. Super, super clean. This will give your Fujifilm files, I'm sure, brand new life, especially maybe like landscapes that you've had, or maybe some wildlife or bird photographs that you think maybe aren't as sharp or as clear as you hope they were. So I definitely want to go through a lot of my older Lightroom processed Fujifilm files and see what DxO can do. What detail can it bring out of some old images to give them new life? All right, let me know if that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Not sponsored by, thanks, so hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff.